Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
So excited. Today is a very interesting day. This is Denicia Herbert, and I am coming to you live from Houston, Texas. And I am interviewing Mr. Earlton Rogers Sr., and we are going to be discussing his newly released book called Just Like Daddy. Now, now behind this in the studio, I was just telling Mr. Rogers that I am going to be 49 years old next month, and this is literally my first time reading a book that was not a church book, right?
Right.
And when I say, I have got to say up front before we even get started that I could not stop reading. I could not, it's kind of like watching a series where, now that we got live streaming, you can just kind of, you don't have to wait till next week. So I was just like, oh my God, I think I read that whole book. Oh, I think I actually read it before I actually edited it
Okay.
because I was just like, oh my God, like wait, I gotta see what's gonna happen next. But we're not gonna go there yet. But I just have to say up front that yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been missing out. I've been missing out on some things. Like, wow, okay. But so like I said, we are here. Like I said, we are spilling the tea with SGP, and our goal is to literally motivate, encourage, and support our authors on the rise. And so, like I said, Mr. Rogers is a first time author, and so we are definitely excited about that. And so I want to give him the opportunity to introduce himself and to just give the people a little feedback, about where you're from, what you do, and then we're gonna jump into the book.
All right. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Earlton Rogers Sr. I'm from a small town called Orange, Texas. It's about 2 hours from you in Houston. And we border Louisiana if you come in eastbound. So I was born and raised here, went to school here, graduated from West Orange Stark High School, and went to college in Nacogdoches, Texas, which is Stephen F. Austin State University. And I did a little time there, and ended up coming home and getting a job, getting married, establishing a family, and went to work, and just doing things that I really wanted to do. And writing a book is one thing that I always wanted to do. I just took the time to take advantage of it while I had the time.
Right. Okay. Like I had to say, my family is actually, my grandparents are from Nacogdoches, and
Okay.
so hey, so that's interesting to know some good people out of Wait, is it Nacogdoches or Natchitoches? I always get that confused.
I think Natchitoches is in Louisiana. I think it's Nacogdoches in Texas.
Okay, because I always wonder. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. But yes, so okay, so we have Mr. Rogers has introduced. Ooh, what do you want me to call you, Mr. Rogers? Or you want me to call you Earlton?
You can call me Earlton. That's fine.
Okay, so thank you for clarifying that. And so my curiosity right now is, where did this title come from?
The title, it came at first. I was going to write about me and my sons at first, and just the things that they go through coming up underneath me and my shadow. And it's like, sometimes your sons want to be just like their father, or sometimes they don't want to be like their father. So that's where the title came from.
Okay. And so when did you know? I know that you said that you've always wanted to write. So when did you, if you can think back, to maybe, was it childhood, teenager, like was English your thing, or did you have a thing in high school? Like what kind of motivated you to say that you wanted to actually be an author?
Actually, over time, I started becoming an avid reader, and I was reading a lot, and I was reading at work, at home. I picked up a fondness for reading, so I would read a lot of books, and I guess I'm in a bad position now because I'm so critical when I'm reading. Like, I don't like books that are predictable and that don't end well. So I'm like, man, I wouldn't have ended the book like that. I probably would have did this. So I said, let me try it and see, if I can make a book that is not predictable and is pleasing to readers.
Okay. Well, I can honestly say that I can say that you definitely conquered that. And so what year, or like, so was this like, when did you actually decide that I'm going to sit down and I'm going to just push this book out?
Probably it was before COVID, so I'll probably say like in 2019.
Okay.
I read a book by Carl Weber,
Okay.
and it was a phenomenal book. And actually, I was reading it, and I got to a certain part to where it threw me for such a loop. I had to go back and start over. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah, I
Okay.
couldn't believe I missed that. And that was very, very interesting to me. So after that, I said, okay, I got to do this. I'm gonna try it because I really like that book so much.
Okay, so I'm not gonna give the character's actual name. I think what caught my attention was the nickname Mr. Blue.
Okay.
So how did you characters and their names, and really the blue? Like I was like, I said, that was an interesting name for for a guy.
Right. Actually, my son's first name is the character's first name, and I didn't want
Oh,
to.
okay.
And my son, we call him BJ. He doesn't like to be called by his first name, so
Okay.
I think the character probably wouldn't like to be called by that either because he's a junior also.
Oh,
So that's how
right.
I kind of
Yes.
paired it up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to have him a nickname, just like my son wanted to be called a nickname. So that's why I came up with that from.
Yeah, because I was like, I like that. I said, I don't think I don't think I've ever met. So have you met somebody that has that nickname?
I have a cousin that they actually call Blue.
I mean, I have a auntie, we call her Blue. But I don't think I've ever, like met a man that they, what I'm saying, the way his nickname was Blue. So that was interesting. Um, And so, okay, so when we look at the book, right, and we look at, when you were putting together the characters, just the plot, the plot, like I say, the plot itself was, and I was just like, okay, wait, how did he come up with these? And so when you were actually like writing the book, how was it a struggle, to kind of put everything together to where it flowed, because that was one thing that I was intrigued with, was that I didn't have to try to figure nothing out. Like, oh, how when you're reading a book, you got to start, be like, wait, what,
Right.
but everything, just kind of, flowed. And like I say, it went from one thing to the next. And so I guess my question is, do you think that you've always had like a very imaginative mind? Because it would take an imaginative mind, to be able to be able to create to where it just flows and it keeps you, the plot keeps you going. So have you always had an imaginative mind, or you think it has come with being an avid reader?
Oh, I've always had an imaginative mind. I have a vivid imagination, and also I have so many relationships with so many different people. I just took different characteristics of their personalities to make different characters. And as far as the flow, I would write something that I would think that was interesting in one chapter, and I might not write another chapter for a week or two. I just let
Okay.
it sit in, and then I go back and read it and say, well, what would I want to happen next, or what would probably happen next, and I would just go from there. And I would do that all the time. That's why it took a long time for me to write this book, because I would just let it marinate for a minute, and then pick it
Okay.
back up like 2 weeks later, and like, what did I write, and then go from there.
Got it. So what was the total time frame that it took you to write the book?
Actually, with COVID and all the things happening I was affected by a lot of major hurricanes and stuff down here in this area. So it took me about 5 years actually to write it.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I had to stop and regroup as far as my home life and my job. COVID affected a lot of people, you know, so I had to stop for a while and get myself together and then go back to it.
Got it. Okay. And so one thing, I was thinking about even when you contacted me about publishing the book, because again, there are a lot of men that write books, so I don't want to make it seem like, that it's not. But when it comes to this particular type of book, when it comes to, novels, you have a lot of men that write self-help books or, bios and stuff like that. But, writing a novel, then, to me, I put it in the category of being erotica, because it is very steamy for those, that, I mean, it's very, man, I'm talking about it is, man, like very steamy, and so what would you say to men, to encourage them to know that, if this is something that they desire to do, not to literally allow themselves to be okay with doing it? Because I do think, I talk to a lot of people, a lot of men, and especially African American men, they be like, oh, well, I ain't never thought about writing a book, but they have amazing stories,
right?
But it's not something that they see, that is just like like they see constantly. So they're like, oh, well, nah, it's okay. So my question is, what would you say to them, to encourage them, if that's something that they desire to do, to tell their story, to share their story, or even, like you say, to even create a story?
Men in general, but like you said,
yeah, men in general, yes.
A lot of African American men, we need to be heard from. I mean, like you said, we have a lot of stories to tell, and it will probably clear up the cloudy area in the world that we live in. So many people have experienced so many things that nobody knows about or they wouldn't even believe. So
Right.
I would just say, for all men, hey, we need to be heard. Tell your story. Whether, whatever it is, you can tell it, and you put it together the best way you know how, and stand on it. That's it.
Okay. And like you said, that is so true. I mean, there are a lot of men that have a lot of stories. Like you said, we as women, we don't mind sharing our stories.
Right.
We don't mind talking. We don't mind, we don't mind testifying. We don't mind sharing. But there are a lot of men that suffer in silence, right? And so even though this is a novel, if you really take the time to, to kind of look behind, it's life. It's real. It's real. The story itself is real.
Right.
And so somebody might look at it as, oh, okay, well, this is a novel. It's, it's fiction, but it's really not. It's really something that's happening every single day.
Somewhere it's happening.
Somewhere it's happening. Somewhere it's happening. Now let me be clear. Even though it's happening every day, you put a unique twist on it. But like you say, it is something that the one thing I like about it is that if you look beyond just the word, the words and the story, you really honestly can walk away, with some very interesting nuggets about life, about family, about relationships, about trust. It's so many different things that you can take away from this book that, that will teach you how to, kind of shift things in life. So when you look at, just the overall of the book, because I know that you had to pull from some places in your own life, right?
Right.
So what would be one of the things that, if you could think of, that you would say, that you think would be a big help to those who actually read it and read it with an open mind?
I think what I really wanted people to, especially African American men and fathers, to get out of this book is that fathers are necessary. They're very necessary. And not just to be present, but to be positive while you're present. I look at so many people that they have pressure on their children and they don't even know they have pressure on their children. For one example, it's like LeBron James and his son. You know, his son's playing basketball. Everybody like, oh, he's not good. He's not as, you know, good as his father is. That's pressure on that child. But, you know, sometimes as a father, you have to relieve that pressure for your child. You have to be there, be present, and be positive. That's the two biggest things I want to get out of it. And another thing is, which you probably have to read the book to get this part, but men do suffer in silence. And we don't like asking for help, and we don't like confiding in people because we feel like it'll be used against us later on and stuff like that. So this is a way, like, if nothing else, not only does your child depend on you, you can depend on your child. You know, he can confide in my child. And I got that relationship with my children, my boys for sure, that we can talk, and we can talk about pretty much anything. So keep the communication open and depend on each other, but just know you're necessary. Be there, be present, and be positive.
I love it. I love it because one thing, after I lost my husband, in 2022, you know, one of the things that I learned from this, right, was that men suffer, like you said, they suffer in silence, you know, and it's funny because when I first got the title, you know, when you shared the title with me, I thought about him, and I thought about him because, you know, he was one of those kids that wasn't, he was the baby, right? So he was never around his father, never. You know, but one thing about it was, even though he wasn't around his father, the older sibling said he was exactly like him.
Right.
You know, he was the gangster. You know, he was the, you know, the mob. I mean, he just, you know, all these things that he never saw, it was just in him. You know, they were the Christian ministers. He was the devil child, as they call him. You know, his middle name was Devilun. And so when you first, you know, when you first shared the title with me, I was just, I thought about that, you know, and then as I started, cannot be around someone, but still, you know, still have the characteristics, the traits, the, you know, still, and then those cycles continue, you know, because the cycle that he had with his father, you know, that he ended up having the same cycle with his son. You know, and thankfully before he passed away, they got a chance to change, you know, things to get better. But it really made me think about how important this book is. And I think I shared this with you when we first talked, and how I feel like, you know, that this book is bigger than just the novel. You know, that there's so much more to it, you know, based on, you know, you being you know, an advocate for men, and, you know, for fathers and their sons, you know, for mending relationships, for, you know, for teaching them how to get things, you know, how to put things in order. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe that we are missing that in, you know, in the world.
I agree.
You know, we're because of hurt, because of pain, because of trauma. You know what I'm saying? So many things that's going on in the world. You know, that it takes strong men that are able to be humble at the same time. Things that I can really say that I took from reading this book. You know, and so if you can expound on that, you know, like what do you feel like that because in this book, you know, you talk about, you know, the what word can I use? The type of man, you know, that Blue's father was, you know, him being a man, you know, with money and prestige and things of that nature. And most of the time, men like that, you know, they have to put on a hard exterior, you know. And so in your thoughts, you know, how do you have that hard exterior, but then still be, you know, a gentle giant, as gentle at the same time?
I guess you just have to live through it, because as an African American male, the world makes you hard, makes your exterior hard, because you have to, you know, be ready for anything on any given day. So you have to find a happy medium when you're dealing with your children, and that's with girls or boys. You just have to find out who they are. You got to find out their own personalities. I always compare my book, even though it was some different dealings going on, but you have parents that feel like my child's going to the NFL, and they won't take no for an answer. And the kid might not even like football. You know, my kid going to the NBA, I'm gonna put him in his camp, but he might not have the physical attributes to go to the NBA, and he might not even be interested in the NBA. So you have to know your child, let your child develop on his own, be present, and find out his own personality. And he might like to play tennis. I think you can make a good living doing that, or you can play golf or anything. You just have to be supportive and open-minded to not force something on your child. I've seen a lot of relationships destroyed by you trying to force a certain sport or a certain thing, even the streets. You try to force the streets on your child because you were heavy in the streets, and it's just not going to end well. So I would say, as a parent, as a man, you have to have that hard exterior. You have to. I mean, the world makes us that way, but you have to find a place and a time to touch with your softer side when you're dealing with emotional kids, emotions, period. So it just takes time and patience and really the will to do it.
Right. Yes, I love it. Okay, so who for you? I know, you know what I'm saying, I'm sure all the characters are your favorite. But, you know, if you had to just pick one, you know, who would you say is your favorite character in the book?
It may sound, I know you read the book, so the father is my favorite character because I have a lot of me in the father, you know.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have never imagined that. Wow.
I know, nobody would.
Yeah, I would not have never, look, I know, but seriously, I would not never have put, okay, anyway. Yeah. So y'all gonna have to get the book to figure this out, because I'm confused.
Well, the first thing is the mouth. You know, I have a potty mouth. I'm doing my best. I'm on my best behavior right now, but I let words slip that shouldn't slip sometimes. And I'm blunt sometimes too blunt. I don't know. That just, it's a lot of me in him.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so he's my favorite character because of just the way he talks. He say exactly what's on his mind. Don't really care how you feel about it, you know. And that's where the book ties in with the son. So
got it. Okay, and so when you came up with the idea for it to be you and your son, so wait, because you have, how many sons do you have?
I have 3 sons.
3. And so were they? How did you determine like which one was going to be on the cover?
Well, you know, you and I went back and forth with the cover,
right?
And I couldn't really decide, and that was the only picture. But I had to call my oldest to say, hey, look, you know, he's gonna be on the cover. It's not a slight on you, you know, stuff like that. They wasn't really upset.
Got it.
But it was like a last minute thing. Well, you know, because I sent you the picture that we had to modify, make them right. So that's how I came up with that. That's just the best picture I had at the time.
Well, it actually worked out perfect, you know, because I can honestly say that, you know, once I, you know, showed it to my peer group, you know, they were just like, oh, okay, no, this works, this fits. So it actually fit, you know, and that's why I say, like, I've been doing this for a long time, and I think this was the easiest publishing. Yeah, and I don't know if it's because the story was interesting. Now let me clarify this before I ask somebody to be calling me like, wait, what? My story wasn't interesting, but I think because it was different, you know, because I was, like I was telling you before, you know, I've been a church girl my whole life, so everything with me has always been, you know, church books and faith-based and self-help. But I literally, because so when is the next book coming out? When is the part 2? Because I know that this cannot be it. You know,
no, it's definitely a part 2. It's definitely a part 2.
This cannot be it.
And I think part 2 would probably be better than book 1. So
can it get better?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh wow. Okay, so have you thought about actually making this into a Tubi movie? Because this would be a perfect Tubi movie. Yeah,
I think it would be a
like
perfect
this.
2B movie, but I haven't thought about it.
Okay, well, we need to go ahead and put this out in the atmosphere because that would be a perfect Tubi movie. Like well, it don't have to be Tubi. I'm just saying, but it would
Right.
definitely be like where you don't want to get up, you don't want to leave. You want to.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, I need to see this all the way through to the end. Lord
Right.
Jesus. And so, okay, so I have to ask this question. So when you're doing the book, once you let your wife read it and different, people read it, what were their response to the book?
The people that read it, my wife loved it. I let a couple of friends read certain parts, not the whole book, but like when I was doing maybe a few chapters, they all loved it. And like, hey, give me the rest of it. Let me get the rest of it, And actually, when I first got the copies that you sent me, I gave one to one of my friends, and he read the whole book in like 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah, he said, well, man, it got interesting. I couldn't stop. So he read the whole book in 2 days, and he loved it.
Yeah,
And
I mean, yeah.
real readers, it'll appeal to real readers because of the format, the way I think I set it up to make you want to know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and that was the interesting part too, because it's not in a normal format, to where it's like one long, a couple of long chapters,
Right.
and so it's to the point to where you're like, okay, wait, something new is getting ready to happen. So that's why I say, I mean, really honestly, I have to say that I'm excited, and not just excited about the book, but just also excited about what I told you that I feel like is coming after.
Right.
Because I believe that there are a lot of people that are going to be blessed by it. Even though it has, like you say, it has a couple of words in it. Got a couple of steamy scenes in it.
You got a couple.
Because I think if I recall correctly, when we talked the first time, he's like, well, I know that you do faith based, but and I was like, well, no, just let me read it, But like I say, it is really good, and it's life, And one thing I'm learning about life is that life is life, and and we got to be realistic, we
Right.
church people get mad, they cuss, they all the stuff that's in this book, we all have done it, done it, or are we doing it?
Right.
So we just got to be realistic and stop playing. And so what do you think is next? After once because I know that tomorrow, you have the book signing, in Orange. Yes, you have the book signing tomorrow, so that's exciting. I know that you're excited for that. And so after the book signing, and I know you got a couple of others that you're planning. What's next for Mr. Rogers?
The rest of this year, I really want to concentrate on this book.
Okay.
I have a few more signings, and I want to do a few more. Like I want to do one in Houston. I've almost confirmed one in Dallas. Somewhere in Louisiana and Atlanta, I want to do, and then just go from there. I'm trying to get it out on different platforms, and just to see where it'll go from here. And then at the end of the year, I can look back and see where I am, and then if it's time for part 2, it'll come out. I have a couple of books under my belt right now, waiting just so.
Hey, look, I am truly excited about, like I said, about what's next. And so I would say just give them just a little teaser about the plot. Just a little, not a lot, just a little, just to make them want to, just whet their appetite a little bit.
On this book right here?
Yes.
If I could give a teaser, I would say relationships matter, because in the book you have the son and father's relationship, the best friend's relationship, the neighbor's relationship, and the female's relationship. So the plot twists are really relationship based. So things that you wouldn't think certain people would do, you find out that they will. And I think that, like you said, that happens in life. and I think I put them in the right places. The plot twist.
Yeah, especially with the neighbor. And I mean the neighbor, um, man, the letter from the mama, oh my God.
Right,
Like,
right.
yeah, the letter from the mother. I mean, yeah, you have to get the book. And that's what I said. I didn't really want to just go into it. I wanted to really kind of, just give some nuggets, but really let the people get to know you, as the author, and again, like I say, you being a man, an African American man, and just, and then just let it be a motivating factor, for those, who are sitting back and saying, man, I really want to do this, but I don't know what it looks like.
I've had
And
a lot of people tell me, "Oh man, you wrote a book. I got a book in my head. I want to get out, and I have something to say." And I just tell them, say it, put it out there. You'll
yes,
feel better if you don't sell one book. If you only sell one book, you still feel good about it.
yes, yeah, because like you say, because a lot of times, like you say, the stories that they're telling is, a lot of trauma,
Right,
and people don't realize that books, they're healing. The words are healing. And then you've been able to hear somebody else's story and be like, oh, well, you know what, my story ain't that bad
right, right,
compared to, what I'm saying, compared to, somebody else's story. My story is not that bad, so
right.
I can lift myself up and, and keep on going. Here in the live.
What did you ask me? So I couldn't hear you. It broke up a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think you cut out. No, I said, is there anything else that you want to share with the audience?
No, that's it. That's it. Really, if you
I think it
go out and get the
froze.
book, I'm froze. Just to the
No,
audience, if
you're
you go
not
out and
now.
get the
You was
book,
a few minutes.
okay. If you go out and get the book, I think you will enjoy it. So go out, treat yourself. You know, get you a cup of coffee, sit back and read it. It's a page turner, and like I said, part two probably will be better than this one because I'll be able to take my time and really flow with it instead of stopping and taking so many years to finish.
Right. And so let them know where they can get the book, as far
Uh,
as them, as far as them locating you on your Facebook, um, the um, the web page that they can, be able to get the book, and then it's also located on Amazon in the Kindle version as well.
right, on Amazon, the Kindle. I have
Mhm.
my Facebook page, and I have a Just Like Daddy Facebook page with all the links that you can click on.
Yes.
Uh, I believe. Well, I made a TikTok. I'm new to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I have the link on TikTok as well, and it's BIGGE_89 for all of my social media for Instagram and TikTok.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and I gotta say this because I be over here, when you be sharing the pictures of the barbecue.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, so go and shout out about the barbecue
oh yeah,
and where they can get it at. They can take that 2 hours wherever they at. Because I mean, when I say I be over here, because I am a barbecue person, I will eat barbecue 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I'll be over here like, Lord Jesus, why? Because I mean, here in Houston is not a lot. Okay, well, let me not say that. Well, no, I'm gonna say it anyway. It's not a whole bunch of good, barbecue places like it used to be back in the day.
right,
And I'll
right.
be over here like, Lord, why does that look so? It just be looking so neat and just, so together. So tell them about the barbecue, about the barbecue business and how they can, what days and all of
Okay.
that good stuff. Shout out about the business.
I own a barbecue restaurant, Big E's Barbecue. It's in Orange, Texas, 102 Green Avenue. It's the last exit in Orange. If you take the last exit at Simmons Drive, it'll take you right to my restaurant. Sell a barbecue, chicken, rib, brisket, uh, specialize in a homemade link. We sell the stuffed potatoes, all that kind of stuff. And we're open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5 right now. Uh,
Okay.
Later hours are coming. I just finished my drive-through, so I probably have later hours just for the drive-through only later on. But as for right now, it's open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5. Come see me if you want some good barbecue.
Man, I was like, look, I was telling my friend, I was like, man. So wait, are y'all having barbecue for the book signing?
I think so. I think
Wait,
so. My
wait
wife is
a
getting
minute.
that together. My wife is getting that together. So I know we probably have boudin for sure.
I
And
will
I'm
see.
not sure what else we have.
See, I'm gonna have to go ahead and make that 2 hour drive. So
Come on down. Come on down.
well, that's what I say. This was definitely one interview that I was waiting to have. Um, like I said, so excited about the outcome, so excited about the finished product, and and like I say, just being able to see, thing like I was saying, I just had a burden, just God put a burden on me for just men, and men hurting, and being in pain, and and not having an outlet,
Right.
and so I'm really excited about that you doing this, and and just creating an outlet, to where people can see positiveness, and see positivity, and know that anybody can do it, if they put their
Right.
mind to it. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. And um so I don't know. I just, like I told you before, I just see big things. I just see just major doors opening for this. I even see some consulting, So I don't know. You might want to think about that. Add some
Oh, definitely.
consulting, huh?
Definitely. I say
Yeah, you know
definitely.
what? Well, some men can be like, well, let me call Brother E and get some words of encouragement, get some barbecue, get
Oh,
some
yeah.
words of encouragement, get some uplifting, and
I got it
you
all.
know,
Yes.
huh?
I say I got it for him too.
Yeah, and it's funny because I can see that. I can see. Wait, have you been called to the ministry? No.
Not yet. He ain't through with me
Not
yet.
yet. Okay, not yet. Cause see, I can see that. I can see, them calling you Pastor E. I can just see that, right?
I can see a little bit. I can see a little bit of that.
I can see that. I'm laughing, but I'm seeing. I really can see that. You just being. I can see. You just being a community encourager to the men. So I'm excited about that. So like I say, so I'm gonna say I just encourage you to get this book. Just like Daddy, like he said, it's available on Amazon and on Kindle. But most importantly, we always encourage you to go straight to the author and support the author. Get it from him, from him. Like he said, you can go to Facebook, and the page is just like Daddy. Type leave reviews, and I want to say that too, that even after you read the book, please make sure that you go and leave reviews, and what you think about the book and what you want to see coming next. So continue to encourage. Let's continue to encourage each other, to do our best stuff, to stand on our
That's
businesses.
right.
So because he got the barbecue going on, he got books going on. Is there anything else you got going on you want to share with the people?
Well, one thing I want to do is shout you out to the people, because ever since I contacted you, it's been nothing but positivity. And I know I had a lot of questions. I know I worked your nerves a little bit, but you were always professional. You was always nice, and you always had the answers for me. Everything flowed so well. I think you're great at what you do.
Thank
Keeping in contact, showing me this, showing me, we went around and around with the book cover, and it was just an enjoyable experience. And I think that if anybody is looking to publish a book, I think they need to contact you as well, and just get it started,
Thank
because
you.
you made this experience very, very pleasant, very pleasant, easier
Thank
than I thought it
you.
would be. And I really
Thank
appreciate it.
thank you. You are so look, thank you for giving me the opportunity. And thank April for the
Right, for the
yeah,
shout
what I'm
out.
saying, for the reference. And so we thank God for her too. So like I say, I'm excited. If you don't have anything else that you want to share, I think this was an amazing interview. Um And I, like I said, I'm just excited about what's next. I am excited about what is to come. What's next? You know, I just see, and I'm sure your wife is watching, but I just see, you know, Pastor and First Lady Rogers. I'm just gonna put it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Don't put it out there. Don't put it out there.
I'm just gonna put it out there. You know, I just see it. I feel it in the spirit. You know, I gotta be me. I just see it. Pastor and First Lady Rogers. So hey.
He's able.
Yeah. You know, so if a year from now, I see on Facebook that, you know, you done extended the barbecue place and added on a little section for the church.
Already.
Like, okay.
You're gonna be the first one I call.
Okay, look, so you can leave out of church and get you some barbecue.
There you go.
Keep it flowing. So, but no, this has been amazing. Like I say, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for doing this interview. Because I know at first you were kind of, you know, like Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
But I can say that you did really good. You know, you really did good. And so I thank you. And we're done. You know, like I said, if you have any questions, if there's something that you can't find regarding the book, you can also reach out to us at Shekinah Glory Publishing, or, you know, or DM me at Denicia Herbert, and I would definitely make the connections, because we want to make sure that we boost this book and we support Mr. Earlton, and yeah, let's get some 10,000 copies sold. You know, let's put it out there. Let's get some 10,000.
We're gonna claim that.
Yeah, we're gonna claim that. You know, we're gonna claim, like, you know, 10,000 copies sold. You know, bestseller. We're just gonna put it out there.
I like it.
But he can't do that without you guys. So, you know, so again, support him however you choose. Reviews, you know, even after the interview is over, you know, shoot him a message, you know, let him know, you know, just what you thought about everything, and just continue to motivate him as a first-time author, because that is truly an accomplishment.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Truly an accomplishment. So you enjoy the rest of your night, Mr. Rogers, and we will talk soon.
All right. Thank you. See you
okay.
later.